This is Jason Katzenbach with Portal Feeder, and today I'm going to share with you a neat little trick that you can use to help get your site some quality backlinks and some traffic. Now, what you see in front of you right now is Craigslist.org. Now, Craigslist is a gigantic classified ad site. That's basically the best way I can explain it. And it's huge. It gets tons of traffic. It's got tons of respect from the search engines. It's got an incredible page rank. And using my little tool here, you can see it's got a rank of 40 on Alexa. It's one of the top 40 sites on the internet for traffic-wise, according to Alexa. So as you can see, if you can take advantage of this, you can get some really good results. Now, the thing with Craigslist, I really recommend that before you do anything, you check out this area right here. It's the help, frequently asked questions, abuse, and legal. And the reason is because they're very strict on how you can use their system. And there's always people wanting to flag posts that look spammy. So you need to respect their terms of use. Now, the little trick I'm going to show you today involves hiring somebody. Now, everybody needs to hire somebody for something, whether you use Elance or Rent-A-Coder. There's things like articles, there's things like press releases, maybe graphics. Craigslist is absolutely phenomenal for that. And the reason is because you can get people close to your location that are willing to work, and they're willing to work for a very low price. There's a lot of stay-at-home moms that are willing to work for minimum wage and do lots of different things for you. Now, just one thing to forewarn you on, whenever you put a job in there, somebody's going to be upset because they're thinking you're not paying enough. You're going to get a few flames, which means emails from people that say, how dare you pay us this much, because they think they should get $200 for a press release. Well, they probably should, but you don't want that level of a press release, more than likely. And well, you do, but you want it for less amount of money. Now, I'm not talking about asking for a $6 press release either. I recommend going about the $50 mark. But press releases by themselves are, in fact, it's something that I extremely highly recommend. That at least every 3 months, if you have a site that's making money, you want to pump out a press release using PR Web. Now, how I go about doing it is I come to Craigslist. Now, one other thing to note is that there's a lot of places, as you can see with Craigslist, it's got all these US cities, international cities, Canadian cities. It's got lots of different things. But a lot of these, especially in the US, that are highly popular, for example, San Diego, Los Angeles, New York, they'll charge for you to advertise on Craigslist. So what you want to do is you want to advertise in a city that doesn't charge. Now, since I'm in Canada, Toronto's a good example. I've had great success advertising in the Toronto Craigslist. As you can see, it still has a page rank 7 out of 10. It still gets tons of traffic, and I'm very surprised every time I put an ad in how quickly people respond. Now, what I do, for example, we can go to the writing and editing. You can do anything, though. And you can see there's people always writing stuff. They're always wanting writers for different things. So what you want to do is you want to put an advertisement in for either articles or a press release. But how you want to word it is you give them great details, but then in the advertisement you also say if you need more information to understand what you'll be writing about, you can go to the website you'll be writing about, and then you put the website in there. So if we click on an ad, what you'll see is most people will just put some basic information. If you have a passion for writing, things like this. What you want to do is you want to put together even more than this. You want to put together a pretty detailed advertisement. And you want to have it go through exactly what it is you want. So let's use the example of a press release. What you would say, and say your site is sports cars. So you would then start telling them, say, I have a brand new site about sports cars and I need a press release written that will be announcing this new website to the internet. I want the press release to focus on the types of cars and how it's important to be educated on these types of vehicles. Then you go into a little bit more detail about what your site's about and how you want the press release structured, the amount of words it needs to be, the site you'll be submitting it to, and how you need to follow the guidelines of that site. And then at the very end, you just put a little blurb right at the end of the ad that says, if you have more questions or concerns about this press release, you can email me by clicking the reply to, or you can check out my website at and understand what my market is. And what will happen is Craigslist will allow your ad to stay on this page. As you see right here, it's got a page rank of 5. It will stay on this page for approximately 1 month. And now what I do, and actually as you can see, it's more than a month right now, but what I'll do is even if the job has been taken, because you'll usually find someone pretty quickly, I will keep the ad on here, and I'll even look at the people that respond. And then after they've responded, I'll categorize them. If this person looks qualified, I might use them later on down the road. Now, honestly, you'll have people respond 2 or 3 weeks later, but I want to keep my ad on here the whole time to be able to take advantage. Now, a couple of things that I really want to stress. Number one, don't abuse this system. What I've showed you right there is a legitimate way to use it because you're actually looking for someone to work for you. Number two is don't be surprised if your ad gets flagged a couple of times. But you know what? Be persistent. Make little tweaks on it. Change it about. If someone flags and it gets deleted, check to see what your wording was. Make sure you don't have anything that sounds hypey or flashy or, come check out this website. Don't do that. And if someone deletes your ad, just post another one. They're free to do, and you'll eventually be able to get it so that it sticks. Number 3 is don't insert keyword links. I've done it, and every single time it gets flagged and deleted. Simply put the HTTP and only put one link. Now, if you want to put another link, for example, to PR Web to tell them, can you please, follow the guidelines at, and then you could put the link to your site. That's a very powerful way to make it look more legitimate about the link. But I recommend you only put one link to your site. Again, make sure you don't sound too hypey. And on average, you'll find that you'll get between 20 to 40 visitors a day to your site just from this advertisement, depending on what site. Now, don't forget, a lot of those people visiting aren't really targeted clients, but that's okay, because along with those people, you're also getting the search engine bots coming to your site, and they're seeing this link. So for the amount of time it takes to do this, you're getting a quality link on your site, plus you're finding a resource to write for you. Now, before I finish this off, I just need to share with you that Craigslist is something that you really need to pay attention to. If you're looking to hire people, if you're looking to contract people, don't overlook this system. I've used it for almost every aspect of my outsourcing. I still use other services like Rent-A-Coder and Elance, but I use all 3 of them to try to find the best person. And the beautiful thing about Craigslist is if you can find someone close to your location, you can just pick up the phone and call them anytime. Well, I certainly hope you enjoyed this tip and found it useful. And if you're looking for more tips and tricks, check out our other blog posts. Or if you want, subscribe to our newsletter by using the opt-in box you see on the blog here, where we'll share more tips and tricks with you. Plus, we'll also let you know about the up-and-coming reopening of Portal Feeder 2.0. I hope you have a wonderful and prosperous week, and I'll be talking to you later.